Okay, welcome back, students. Good morning. Today we will continue. I have explained the syllabus till Unit 3 in detail. Now we are coming up to Unit 4, which talks about laws relating to health, safety, and welfare. Now, this particular act of Factories Act 1948 is a part of this Unit 4, and a Factory Act is one of the most important industrial laws that we have because it determines all the norms and working conditions of the workers, those who are working in an organization, in a factory, in a mill, or in any context. So, Factories Act talks about it has got three major components. That is the health of the workers, the safety of the workers, and the welfare activities of the worker. By health, we mean that adequate standard of sanitization and environment should be maintained. Medical facilities should be provided so that we are able to retain the health of the workers. It is very essential because unless the person is fully healthy, he will not contribute his best for the organization. So health is one of the basic important aspect of this Factories Act. Second is safety. You see, safety is another very important aspect which talks about all the safety. Like, for example, we know that industrial workers, they wear all kinds of safety precaution, clothings, helmets, visors, and taking all measures. In an industrial setup, there are so many structures which needs to be protected. There are machines which are working at a very high speed. Somebody's hand or leg may come in contact with that, may get injured. So there are various safety measures within the premises of a factory. And this particular safety aspect, this is mandatory to be followed by every factory owner. So maintaining safety, and maintaining the welfare, it is the responsibility of the employer. So he has to ensure that his worker is adequately healthy, safe, and being well looked after. The third one says about the welfare activities, like providing them all kind of facilities, transportation, schooling, right, PF. So all kind of welfare activities which are for the benefit of the worker, they needs to be provided. So Factories Act compositely talks about the typical the scenario or the typical scenario which you find in a factory. Lot many workers are working. Okay. So there should be provision for proper lighting, there should be proper sanitization, there should be proper ventilation. So all these things are taken care. Basically, I am giving you an idea that Factories Act will pertain to these three basic elements of health, safety, and welfare. So they need to be taken care of, and if the organization doesn't follow it, then of course, as with every law, there are penalties and fines, even jails in certain conditions for the employer if they don't adhere to the given rules and regulations under Factories Act. Last act, that is your fifth unit, that is social legislation. So it contains two acts, students. One is ESIC, this is Employee State Insurance Act, and the other one is Employees Provident Fund, that is called as EPF. Now, let us take the first one. Now, this is the Employee State Insurance Act. As the name suggests, that is a kind of insurance policy for the workers. Now, this is one of the biggest organizations in India that works to compensate, and it is a very comprehensive one. Like I said, in the first unit, I was talking of Workmen Compensation Act, which talks about compensating a worker if he gets injured. Now, that thing is already covered in ESIC Act also. And there I have said that if Workmen Compensation Act is applicable in a particular organization, then ESIC Act will not be applicable. And if ESIC Act is applicable in an organization, then Workmen Compensation Act won't be applicable because two benefits cannot be given. So either ESIC Act will be applicable in a factory or an organization, or Workmen Compensation Act will be applicable. This should be understood by you. Now, Employee State Insurance Act not only talks about compensating the injured workman, but rather it also takes care of his hospitalization. It talks about his dependent benefit. There are 6 kind of benefits under it, which we will discuss. So it's a very comprehensive kind of package kind of thing. under this insurance aspect, and it is guided by this act called as Employee State Insurance Act, EIAC, right? Then lastly, it is your Employee Provident Fund Act. Provident means something of eventuality, something in future. So something in future means there is a deduction of salary from the salary of a, or the wages of a worker every month, and that is deposited to his PF account. Now while he retires, he gets it as a benefit, as a provident fund amount, whatever amount is accumulated over a number of years, that he will be getting. Now there are little different norms relating to your private sector and government sector. Under government sector, these PF, the PF fund, it is accumulated and it is given at the time of retirement. It is a kind of retirement benefit. Whereas in case of, as you know, in private sector, people keep on changing jobs and all. So naturally, there are norms that you can either continue with your PF. Let's say you are part of organization A. Now you, after 3 years, you go to organization B. So you can transfer your PF account to that organization. Now that organization will deduct your amount and deposit with the PF commissioner. So like this you may continue. Or if you want to take a withdrawal, let's say I have worked in an organization for 3 years. Now I want to take out all the money that has been accumulated. That can also be done. And a new PF account can be opened when I join a new organization. So these are certain norms. So all in all, student, we have talked about all this Unit 1, Workmen Compensation Act, which talks about compensating a workman in case he gets injured or he contracts any kind of occupational disease. Then there were Payment of Bonus Act. Bonus is a part of, you can say, part of the profit accumulated by the employer, and it is shared with the employee. Then Payment of Gratuity Act. Gratuity is a one-time payment, and it talks about as a payment for the good work rendered by the services rendered by the workmen. And of course, Payment of Wages Act, which ensures timely and proper payment of wages to the workers. Then we talked about Industrial Dispute Act, which talks about the employer and the association of the workers, if they are into dispute, how to settle them. Rather, we should try not to escalate the disputes between the parties. Rather, we want to settle it amicably. So these procedures through courts and tribunals and other special courts and labor courts, they ensure that industrial harmony is maintained. Then Trade Union Act, of course, people are now allowed to form after 1926 to form their associations of workers. These are called as trade unions. For their rights, they have to fight. They can raise their voice against the employer if they are exploited. So these rights are given under Trade Union Act. Then Factories Act. This I already narrated, that these three important aspects of health, safety and welfare of the workers and the factory premises of the organization are to be taken care of. And lastly, we talked about the ESIC, which is a kind of insurance act and which gives a complete package of welfare activities for the worker, be it there is maternity benefit, there is medical benefit, there is insurance. So all kind of packages given under EIC Act. It's a very comprehensive one. And lastly, I talked about the Provident Fund, which is related to your retirement aspect in case of your government organization, and in case of private organization, either you can continue further with your account as you go from one organization to another, or you might take a withdrawal. So all in all, students, I can say that now you are able to appreciate what this particular subject is all about, and we will further continue in the next lecture.